Hello and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. We have Tamara here with us. She's a private investigator and also helps people recover their assets as well. So, Tamara, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, I am Tamara. I am, again, a licensed private investigator and asset recovery specialist, and I specialize in not just individual investigations, but asset recovery regarding tax foreclosure surplus and unclaimed property held by state treasuries. So,
Okay, excellent. So tell us a little bit more about this. Obviously, when we were in the green room, we talked about that there is a lot of unclaimed dollars in different treasuries around the US, in different states. And so can you tell us a little bit more about that?
yes, so and every state has, just like in the country on a federal level, just like our country, our federal government has a treasury, every state has a treasury, and every treasury has a lost and found. It's basically, the easiest way I can explain it is a lost and found. And so when folks have these assets or bank accounts, life insurance policies, stocks, bonds, you name it, okay, any financial asset that they have not tended to for a few years, that ends up going into that state's lost and found, and it's held there into perpetuity, meaning forever, until the correct individual or their heirs come forward to make a claim for it.
Okay, great. And what happens, for example, you mentioned that people can also check this, but what happens if someone passed away and then now obviously it's their children or grandchildren and is this are they going to be able to see this or you help them with this or what happens there?
Yes, many people are actually unaware that this money is even sitting in their state treasury. And so if somebody passes away, it'll be in the name of the deceased individual. So I always tell people, when you go on these websites, and I'll share that with you in a bit. When they go on the website, not only should they check their name, but they should check the name of their deceased family members, because many of these unclaimed assets have actually been sitting there for decades.
Wow.
Uh, yeah.
And how do you help them with this?
So our role in this as an air finder, and the Treasury calls us air finders. They give us the database itself, specifically for the purpose of reaching out to folks who are on that list. And this is a list of millions of names. And so we just have to go through it and just start reaching out to folks and letting them know, hey, you're entitled to these funds. If you'd like to claim it, it's our job to help you. And so we, have all the necessary documentation, the forms, we know the process. We have our contacts at the Treasury, and we're able to get those claims for that property, for those assets initiated quickly, and get these folks paid out in a timely manner.
Oh, that's very nice. And so that's something you've been doing for a while.
Yes, yes, actually. I actually, when I got into it, I would look unclaimed my state's unclaimed property website, and every year I had about around $1,600, like $1,600 just sitting there in my name. And I was wondering, where was it coming from? Like, where was this coming from? And I found out it was actually from a money market account from a old website business, like when eBay was coming out, like back then I wanted to start a little online business and I opened a money market account, and I guess those links are still active. Um, for that little online store. I don't know how to access it anymore, but apparently it's still generating some sort of revenue yearly. So, so then it goes into unclaimed property because I'm not touching it.
Well, that's so interesting, and that's how you went, and then you discovered obviously you own this money, and then is that how you actually went in started this business?
Yes, yes, I would make a claim every year, but then I was just like, well, what about everybody else? What about everybody else? And so I was already in law enforcement. I was already a private investigator myself. I said, well, how do how do I tie this into there? And I was also already dealing with tax foreclosure surplus claims. When folks lose their house due to foreclosure, they're entitled to the equity that comes from that, helping them make a claim for that. And then I found out that our Treasury had a registration process for folks like myself to help other individuals claim their money. And so that ended up getting tied into it as well.
So interesting. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so tell us about some of the interesting claims that you actually help your clients with.
Say an interesting claim is when you have multiple generations in between it. Because again, like I said before, many of these claims, I mean, many of the listed owners have been deceased for 40, sometimes 50 years. And so you've got multiple generations in between. And so once you get to this generation that's entitled to the money now, well, now you got to go back and do an entire genealogy, uh, entire genealogy, and find death certificates for everyone who was entitled prior to, just to get to the proof that the person now is entitled to the money. So it's that going back deep into somebody's. I can't point out one particular claim in particular, but it's cases like that or claims like that are so interesting because you get to learn somebody's family history. And this is I would say, a very in-depth and personal experience for claimants. And so you form these great relationships with them, where, there's follow-up afterwards. You know what I mean? I can't tell you, I've never had a claimant where they didn't reach out and say, oh, well, I just had a grandkid or I just blah, 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 and the claim has been done.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. And so how this actually works? You have the list, and then you find these people and you approach them and you say, oh, by the way, you're probably own this money. And what is their reaction in that moment when you tell them this?
Oh man, some folks are in disbelief. At first, they might think it's a scam.
Yeah.
Sometimes they might think it's a scam. You know what I mean? Anybody reaches out to you, and there's several ways that folks actually end up as our clients. Like they can actually reach out to us because they've tried to make a claim, but they got denied because they were missing some sort of paperwork or some proof. But there's the main way that we actually gain clients is reaching out to them. And so when we do reach out to them, sometimes they're just like, this is too good to be true. Anybody calls you and says, "Hey, you're entitled to $100,000, and it's our job to help you claim it." Yeah, of course, I'd be skeptical too. I'd like go fly a kite. But what we do is we provide them with that registration number with the Treasury and give them all the information they need to make an informed decision. We let them know you are entitled to make a claim on your own. You do not need assistance. You can 100% attempt it on your own. Is it always a good idea? No, especially if there are multiple generations where you have to prove entitlement. But they do have a right to claim on their own, by all means. But then we also give them our registration number so they can call their state treasury and verify that we are registered. And we always tell people never give your personal information to somebody where you can't verify their licenses or certifications. And so there's ways of finding out whether or not you're being scammed in this particular, in this instance. We've got our website. We got a website, and then also our YouTube channel where we do provide education on it, on unclaimed property, tax foreclosure surplus, and private investigations. Again, to just help folks make an informed decision.
Great, yeah. And so, if someone wants to actually find out a little bit more about you, about what you do, and those websites and YouTube channel, can you share that with our audience, please?
Oh, yes. If anybody wants to find out more, they are welcome to visit our website. It is www.ruckwoodrecovery.com. And that's behind me here. So RW for Ruckwood. It's just my last name. It's my and my husband's last name mixed together. So www.ruckwoodrecovery.com. And they can go to the YouTube channel, at Ruckwood Recovery and or on Facebook, Ruckwood Recovery. And or they can give us a call as well. And if they are looking for, if anybody thinks they might have money, and I would just say, just always check. Always check. They can go to missingmoney.com to search that national database. And if they want to find out in their particular state, they can go to their state treasury website and just type in their name, type in their name, type in their city, and it'll pop up if you're entitled to something. But don't just search your name. Search the name of your recently deceased relatives as well.
Okay, thank you, Tamara, so much for sharing these great tips. Thank you all for watching and listening to this episode. If you liked it, drop us a like. If you have any questions for Tamara or me, you can drop them down you can write them down in the comments, and we'll be more than happy to answer them. And see you all in the next episode. All the best, and bye bye.
Thank you. Take care.